Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Tech That Doesn't Byte. In this episode, I want to talk about RedPocket Mobile. Now, RedPocket Mobile is a MVNO carrier that I've used in 2020. I actually did a review on that, so feel free to check that out first and come back here. And it's been over a year since I used it, and I continue using it. And I just want to give you a little perspective on what's it like to use RedPocket Mobile in 2021. So just a little disclaimer, I am a current RedPocket Mobile customer. This video is not sponsored by them. I use my own money to pay for their service. So let's get on with the review. The cool thing about RedPocket Mobile is that it's one of those MVNO carriers that let you choose which network you want to use. So for example, the GSMA network is the AT&T network, the GSMT is the T-Mobile network, and the CDMAV is the Verizon network. So you can basically choose which network you want to use when you first start the service. And I really like that option, whereas a lot of other carriers, they really just have that one deal with this certain network and you have to use that network. Whereas with RedPocket Mobile, you get to choose it. So it's just been over a year since I've been a RedPocket Mobile customer. And I gotta say, I haven't really had any issues with the service itself. So for example, I've been using the GSMA network, and the good thing about that is that it uses the AT&T network for data. And in my neighborhood, AT&T has been working actually a lot better than like T-Mobile or even in some cases Verizon. And I've been getting very consistent speeds. And with the recent 5G rollout in this area, I've been getting a little bit faster in certain areas that I visit. So for example, here are some of the speed tests I have in just my neighborhood itself. So that last speed test result that you saw was about 70 megabits down and 60 megabits up. And I've been getting those speeds consistently around my neighborhood. Obviously it changes at certain times. It could be a little bit lower, it could be a little bit higher. But when I visit other places, other areas that I visit frequently, I do get around sometimes close to even 100 megabits down, even a little bit further than that. And I've been very pleased with the data speeds I've been getting, especially with this 5G rollout. Now, obviously, this is not the faster 5G that I would like, but obviously, I know what I pay for, and I expect these kind of speed results when I'm paying for something that's a little bit cheaper. So definitely, I've been very pleased with the GSMA network on RedPocket Mobile. Let's talk about the monthly plan. So starting with 3 gigabytes of data, it's only $19 per month. That's before any taxes and fees that you have to pay for. And it even goes up to always 50 gigabytes of data. Now, one thing that they don't show you is that there is a lower data plan that costs cheaper, that's like about 500 megabytes and 500 minutes. So that plan is very for people that don't really use a lot of data. So that's a good choice. And I think that's around like $10 per month. So that is a good choice if you don't use data at all. But with the monthly plan, it starts at $19 for 3 gigabytes and it goes up to 50 gigabytes as well. Now for me, I opted out the yearly plan because I haven't had that much issues with RedPocket Mobile. So if you go on their eBay site, you do get the options to purchase a yearly plan. I know they have like a 3 gigabyte plan, 8 gigabyte plan, 20 gigabyte plan, and those are yearly plans that you can enroll. And it's pretty easy. You just buy the plan on eBay and they email you this redemption code. Then you basically, if you don't have an account already, you just make an account, do all the process of porting in and just input that code, and it'll activate it for a year and it lasts for a year. Now, the instructions that I just gave you were just very bare minimum. They will send you instructions on how to do it. I was already a RedPocket Mobile customer, so I already have an account and everything's already pretty much set up. All I had to do was just input that little voucher code and it was all done. And so far, I've never had any problems with the service itself. Call quality, SMS texting, Wi-Fi calling on the GSMA network has been flawless on my iPhone. I never had any problems with it. Everything just works fine. Although I do get the occasional, spam calls, but unfortunately that's really nothing that, they could really do about it. It's just how the way it is. Fortunately, with smartphones these days on iOS and Android, you can install some sort of spam blocker. So that's the only thing I didn't like. I do get those frequent spam calls and even spam texts as well. You also get free international calling with your plans, and that's pretty cool. And it's over, I think, about 80 plus countries. So if you are a RedPocket customer, you do get free international calling. They do finally support 5G, depending on which network you are using. And as much as I like the 5G logo on my phone, I know for a fact that this is not the super fast 5G that everyone wants. It's there, but it's nice that they're finally rolling out 5G supports on MVNO carriers. Although I don't know if I'll ever see those, ultra wideband speeds that like other carriers have. So hopefully one day, but at least there's some sort of 5G support. So fingers crossed. So porting in an existing phone number has never really been a problem for me. When I first started using RedPocket Mobile in 2020, the process was pretty easy. All I did was I got the information from my old carrier, give them the new information to RedPocket Mobile, and within 30 minutes or so, my service was activated. Obviously, this could come with hiccups with other people as well. Like I've read in, their RedPocket Reddit threads, like some people have this issue with porting in, from their previous carrier. So this is gonna be a part where it's hit or miss. So I definitely recommend that if you do want to try out this RedPocket service, give it a try for a month with a new number. Just let them give you a new number. Try it out before, porting in. And I think that the only way to port in your number is to actually cancel the current account, your test account, and then make a new one. And that way you can port into that number. But that's just, testing scenarios if you want to go that route. But I do recommend testing out the service for just a month to see if everything works for you. So here are some things that I still don't like about RedPocket Mobile. So their customer support is pretty much hit or miss. I feel like sometimes when I ask them questions, they don't really know the answer, but they try to pretend that they know the answer. So for example, I did help someone try to move to the GSMT network that's using a T-Mobile network. And on their documentation, it says that GSMT network, supports Wi-Fi calling on Wi-Fi calling supported phones. And the iPhone is one of them, but it doesn't work on the iPhone. There is no Wi-Fi calling functionality on their GSMT network. So I remember the experience, and I was trying to talk with them over chat, kind of go back and forth. They had me do all this stuff, reset the network, restart the phone, do this and do that, take out the SIM card, put the SIM card back in. And I just try to explain to them, like, I don't think Wi-Fi calling support is supported on the GSMT network. And it's just like a back and forth kind of thing. Like they say that it does, but I don't think it does, because if it does, it would pop up on my iPhone. And I don't know if that's ever been fixed, but fortunately, a friend of mine that was using the GSMT network just ported out to a different carrier later on. That was the intention of it, just use that for a temporary basis. So, and it's just, sometimes it's kind of going back and forth with them. So sometimes a hit or miss. I know I have positive experience with them, but I also have negative experience with their customer support. I also don't like the fact that some of the features that they listed is now supported on all phones. And I kind of wish, they were more open about it. So, if you're an iPhone user, you're probably not going to have that much of an issue. But if you're an Android user, you're going to have to dig in deep of their knowledge base to see what's going to be supported. So for example, on Android phones, your For some reason, GSMA just doesn't work well with Pixels, and I really wish they were more upfront about that. So, some Pixel 3a customers, even 4As and 5s, they're not getting VoLTE, or they're having problems getting VoLTE, and just no Wi-Fi calling as well. And it's just like, kind of like put a little footnote or a little note on that, hey, some of these features might not be available on these following phones, and it's very hit or miss. And also with 5G support, it's like, if you have an Android phone, 5G works on GSMT, but not on GSMA. If you have an iPhone, it works on GSMA, and I think it works on GSMT. I might be wrong about that, but it doesn't work on CDMA. So it's just like, there's a lot of certain things that works with this phone, and then certain things doesn't work with this phone. Wi-Fi calling is definitely one of those as well. So just to let everyone know, I believe Wi-Fi calling is not supported on the CDMA V network with the Verizon network. So again, this is one of those things that they're not very clear about it. So the BYOD experience is going to be, it'll be very good, if you're on the iPhone, but on the Android, you're probably gonna get frustrated. So hopefully, one day they'll be a little bit more knowledgeable, just be more upfront about that experience when it comes to bringing your own phone. Just as I mentioned earlier, given that this is a MVNO carrier, you are going to experience deprioritized speeds. So at certain hours, if the tower is busy, your speeds might go down a little. I haven't personally experienced it that much. As you see in the speed test earlier, those are still decent speeds. I haven't got to a point where it's like 1 megabits down where I couldn't even do anything. So it really depends where you are at the time and the day. There's also no international roaming. So if you do travel, just to be aware that there is no international roaming, some sort of international roaming plan that is included with RedPocket. You could pay for a data plan that has international roaming, but obviously there are other choices that you can look at if you do plan to travel as well. What's also disappointing is that RedPocket Mobile does not support eSIM. Now that's not very surprising. A lot of MVNOs don't support it, not as many as they should, but it would be nice if they do support eSIM. It gives eSIM customers a lot more flexibility in trying their service and also using them as a secondary line or a primary line. So hopefully one day RedPocket Mobile will implement eSIM technology. I know it takes a while to do it, but other MVNO carriers are starting to do that. So they should probably get on board as well. And the last thing I don't really like about them is their website. I cannot for the life of me figure out why their website is so horribly designed. So when you log into your account, it's very plain and generic. Just tells you what line you have, when's your monthly plan due, add a line, buy on some datas and things like that. This is very plain and very not much information. You don't get call history, you don't get any of that kind of stuff, and it's just, and this is just a recently redesigned website. I mean, the older website, it looks, just as plain as this one. Having used Tello in the past, Tello gives you call history and things, more information about what you did on your phone, whereas RedPocket doesn't have that capability. So I wish RedPocket has more information about your phone call activities and things like that on their website. Unfortunately, they don't. And they don't even have an app that you can use to access your account. Tello, Visible, even Mint Mobile, they have an app. So RedPocket, maybe you might want to invest in creating a mobile app so that your customers can access their account on their phone. So do I recommend using RedPocket Mobile after I've been using it for over a year? Well, it kind of really depends on your own situation. If you're an AT&T wireless customer, for example, and you're looking to find a cheaper alternative and you're okay with having a little bit slower speeds, then probably looking at the RedPocket GSMA network is a good alternative. Now, if you're a T-Mobile customer or a Verizon customer and you're looking for a cheaper alternative, definitely look somewhere else, because I don't really prefer using the GSMT or the CDMA V network with RedPocket Mobile. I think their GSMA network is probably the best option if you are looking to port into RedPocket Mobile. I also think that RedPocket Mobile is for customers that have some sort of technical background on their phones, so they know exactly, like for example, they know exactly the model they have, they know that it has these features that will be supported on this network. Because like I said, like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of figuring out when you're trying to bring your own device that's not an iPhone. And if you're using an Android, you're gonna have to see like, oh, does Wi-Fi calling work on this network or that network? Oh, does SMS work on this network and this network, or what APN I had to, type in to make it work? Because sometimes the APN settings that they give you just doesn't work for some reason. So there's a lot of figuring out, and if you don't have that kind of technical background, it might be a little bit difficult for you to use, So definitely something you want to be aware of if you are thinking about joining RedPocket Mobile. And also just be aware again with the customer support, it's gonna be a hit or a miss. You're sometimes gonna get a positive experience, and then sometimes you get a negative experience. So just again, be aware of that customer support. But what do you think of RedPocket Mobile? Are you a current customer? If you are, let me know in the comments below. Tell us your experience, what's been the positive and negative reaction to RedPocket Mobile. And maybe you're a new customer as well. You have any questions? Again, leave them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you get notified of new videos. And check out some of the other MVNO reviews that we've been making. We'll see you next time.